Well, she's one of 25 finalists here competing for a chance to win our Home and Family DIY Star Contest. She's the second one. And she's right here. She's from Los Angeles. Welcome, Skaie Knox, to our show. And Gina, you came at a very good day.
Yes.
This is our second one.
I get to make lampshades with Gina Davis.
Yeah, what are the chances, right? Well, you went from...
Who knew?
Yeah.
I wanted you to come in here to share this with us so you can see just how easy this really is to make. And you submitted your video, and you were picked as a finalist.
Yes.
So what is that feeling like to actually be here at the Home and Family House?
Well, besides having it be amazing, it's extremely validating with all the work I do, because I know a lot of us bloggers are at home and we do what we do at home, and we get responses from our readers, but not always, we didn't realize that potentially I have a larger audience that might enjoy what I do, so it's great.
Well, as we said, there are 25 that are going to come spend time here. Gina, I don't know if you know this, but we had this on-running contest, 60 seconds, impress us with your skills, and that's what Skaie did.
From all over the
and
country.
Here's what she sent us. Take a look.
Skaie here, and Mark and Christina, I'm going to show you why I should be Home and Family's next DIY superstar. I wrote this music too. See you soon.
Sets you apart right there. You do all your own scoring, your own
Yes, I just love being creative, so.
Well, we're doing a peekaboo shade today. Exactly what is that?
Well, it's a new take on lampshades, and
where'd you get the inspiration to do this from?
Well, I was at Home Depot, and I saw that there was a light that they were selling that had looked like a laser print of the skyline of New York, and it was a photograph. And I thought, I wonder, it could be manufactured, but I wonder if I could do the same thing with fabric. So I kind of thought, all right, I'm going to go get some colorful fabric and see if it'll work, and bam,
boom,
it worked.
I know.
Well, tell us the kind of materials that we're going to need to do the lampshade.
Okay, anything you can, all of this stuff you can have you have at home usually, like wrapping paper, painter's tape, scissors, pins, and then a really nice fabric, and then also fabric spray.
Okay.
So, yes, and a lampshade, And
our first step is?
The first step is to create a template. This is a really critical step in making this because it's got to be nice and accurate. And I made one earlier today where you, again, use your wrapping paper, and some of the wrapping paper has little guidelines that's really good to use. So look for the guidelines and start with your seam. The seam is the critical sort of element here to keep everything even. So you start and kind of do a test roll, and you make sure that you have enough paper, but not too much. So I actually cut out a piece so I could kind of roll up the remaining amount and be able to work with just one piece. So now I've got a piece, and I do another test roll just to make sure that I've got it lined up correctly. Okay? So good, seam to seam. Okay. So I mark a little dot there on both sides to make sure I see with the beginning. And then the key is to tape the edge of the paper so it doesn't shift while you're tracing. And then it's super easy. You just trace along the top edge.
I was still kind of wait for it.
And then then do the same thing along the bottom edge.
Quick.
Yeah.
And you add 1 inch to the end, so you have overlap.
For what reason?
For the overlap, so that the material can overlap on itself.
Okay.
And then when you cut it, you want to use your lines as a guide. You cut 1/8 of an inch inside the line, just so that it's not overlapping the shade. And if you do, then you can trim off just to make sure
that's
that
the
it's
template.
That's the template, just the template. So even if you make a mistake, you can go back and do it again.
So it's your pattern.
Yes.
Okay.
Now you pin it. I taped it just to put it in place, and then I pinned it. And then you trace along the edge of your template. Easy peasy. It really is, and it's good to have music on because it's like this takes a moment.
We put on Hallmark Channel movies.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Oh, actually having movies on in the background is great too. And there's your template.
beautiful.
Yes.
Wow.
All right.
So,
Let's talk about, we're going to finish this off now, but talk about the material that we used.
oh yes. Okay, so it's really important that you use outdoor fabric.
Why is
because,
that?
Well, because your light bulbs can get kind of warm. And you don't want to start a fire with fabrics, and it's just a really safe way to make sure that, well, first of all, they've got beautiful fabrics for exterior now.
Right, they do.
Sure.
And then you can go, this one I found at Joann's. You can also go online. There's lots of places online that you can go to.
So if you, and this is me spitballing here, but if you had one of the cooler light bulbs, you know,
Yes.
The LED lights?
the LED rather than the incandescent, you could maybe use
It's
something
possible,
different?
sure. I mean, I always like to sort of,
Be
you know,
safe?
yeah, be on
Not
the
me.
safer side.
I live on the
Okay.
edge. Sky, I live on the edge. You saw me eat that piece of cake earlier,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's
I inhaled
true.
that.
Well, let's
I could
see how
have
you-
choked at any minute.
I want to see how you put this inside
Okay.
the.
So, well, first of all, we
lampshade.
need to glue.
Okay, we're going to glue.
So here's the top of your lampshade, and now you actually hold it upside down, because then you can hold on to it.
Are you going to spray?
And you spray it. I'm going
Okay.
to spray it over here, though.
Okay.
But again,
But you spray the shade, not
you
the thing.
spray the inside of the shade. You spray the inside, and you start at the seam once again, so that you know,
Okay.
like how far you've gone, because you can't always really see where it is that
This is
you're
how I live
spraying.
dangerously, by the way. Standing in
You
the
glued
same room.
yourself to the pillow
I
the other
did.
day.
Yeah, I see that you guys backed up
I was
a
actually
little
just
bit.
asleep, and I told you I glued myself to the pillow.
I know, and sometimes if you have really big shades, you get an extra effect of the glue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little potent there.
Yeah, a little potent.
So you should probably do
Here's
that
the
outside,
lampshade.
right?
Yeah, right.
All right, now we're ready. Okay.
Gina, do you do any sort of like crafty stuff?
So much crafty stuff.
Do you?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so
cool.
there's cooking, there's crafting. You're coming back.
Yes.
Great.
I should come for Halloween. I do pumpkins.
Oh, fabulous.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
I
done.
take pumpkins very seriously.
Seriously?
Okay. Now, the next step is that now we're going to place it inside the shade, and we're going to start, you know,
At the
line it up
seam.
at the seam.
At the seam.
Thank you.
Got that.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is
You
why
know,
you are an
she is
Academy
actually
Award winner,
seamless
because
when
you
she
listen. Now, can I have you help me, Gina Davis?
I'm happy to.
Did
Start
you
at
ever
the
think you'd
seam.
say that in your lifetime, ever?
Can I start?
That's perfect. And then you just sort of start, there it is. And what's great about this is that you can like lift it if there's any kind of gap.
Ah.
You can lift it, and then you start
Place it
spreading
back
it.
in.
That's perfect. And you just kind of keep, exactly. And you can tell she does crafts because she knows what she's doing.
She knows what she's doing.
So we do it all the way around.
You should know this. She drove that semi here today. She's got a chauffeur's license.
How many times I've thought I would love to have been in that car with you.
Not in the final scene, though.
No.
Yeah.
A little too committed in the last scene.
Maybe I shouldn't have given away that it wasn't actually us going over the cliff.
Although I was a springboard platform diver, so heights do not worry me.
You were a springboard. What?
Springboard platform diver.
What
Oh, you
else
were?
do you do? Okay,
Greg
do
Louganis
music.
was one of my, he was my teammate.
Yeah.
So I had the honor of
way.
watching him on a day-to-day basis, which is amazing.
Oh.
Hi, Greg.
You're very talented.
Thank you.
Okay, look how he's
Gina's
got
a
what-
perfectionist.
yeah,
I can
Now
see
she's
that
doing
already.
the,
Yeah.
oh gosh.
There
So,
we go.
excellent.
And it's
No,
that-
and it's great. And if there's any gaps, you can pull up, and then you can spray again to have, so that it's really foolproof. It's really pliable. It can come off, it can come on again, you can reshape it.
Sure.
So it's, you know, and it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. It's really
Which means
nice
you
because
could
it's
you could take something and take it off and put something else on there. if you want.
absolutely, yes. You can take it
All right,
off and
let's see
add
how
a
it
different
works.
shape. Yes, and here we go. Here is the actual end
Okay.
Oh,
results.
beautiful.
Isn't that
Look at
beautiful?
That's so nice.
You don't see that coming, too. You walk into the room, you kind of go, oh, you know, you're
Yes.
just looking at this, it looks clear and white, and
Did
then
you put it on top of
You
there?
put it on
Yeah,
there.
put it on
Yes,
there.
and this is perfect because it can be a hat,
You-
or it
There you
can
go.
fit on
Lovely.
your shade like this.
That's lovely.
That's beautiful.